Alright, welcome to another Dragon Ball video. It's been a while, I'm sorry for that. We're going to do something a little different, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a tier list ranking every Dragon Ball game that I've played. Obviously the ones that I don't rank are games that I either haven't played or I'm unfamiliar with. So we're going to go from top to bottom. Let's see here. This is Dragon Ball Online. I'm old enough to remember how it played, and it was basically just a Dragon Ball MOBA. If that makes any sense? It's there. It's very dated, but it gave a lot to the series with like villains such as Toromira. I think Demigo came from there as well. It just gave us an idea on how male and females of each race looked like. It gave us future versions, like descendants of the main cast. There was a lot going on with Dragon Ball Online. But from a game perspective, it's just kind of it's just whatever. Next up is Budokai 3. Peak. I'm sorry. Budokai 3 is one of the highly regarded games for a reason. It's fun to play, the cinematics are great, the voice performances are incredible. It's just a very, very memorable game, fun to play, and there's just a lot going on for it, so I think Budokai 3 is peak. Battle of Z. Dog shit. Like, I know I've made challenges on the game, but it's fucking awful to play. The game looks ugly pretty much 80% of the time, with some exceptions. The objective is just boring. You don't even get to play as custom teams until you beat the main story mode. It just feels like it's a complete waste of time, and there's no fun to be had here. If you're more interested in like a more specific discussion of why I hate this game, I have made a video about it on my channel. If you want to go watch that, I will leave a link to it on the top right now. But yeah, for absolute dog shit, like not even close. Budokai Tenkaichi 2. It's fine. I don't have any issues with it. It's kind of overshadowed by its larger and more popular cousin, Budokai Tenkaichi 3. But I think it gets a job done. I think it was a big improvement on the first game. And I think it's a good foundation for what 3 improved on. And speaking of Budokai Tenkaichi 3, we're going to put that in peak. Now, I'm a unique case in that I played this game on 2 platforms, the Nintendo Wii and the PlayStation 2. And because of this, I basically beat the game twice in a row. And there is so much content in this game. Like, for a game as old as it is, there's so much to unlock and so much to explore and so much to play and so much to do. Like, just, you never get bored with this game. So yeah, I think Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is just incredible. Alright, on to a more dramatic and more, I'd say, hot take. I think Raging Blast 2 is I know, I say I love it to death, but that's mostly my nostalgia talking. Raging Blast 2, for all intents and purposes, kind of just sucked the soul out of the first game. The graphics, in my personal opinion, got kind of worse. The Energy Blast didn't though. The Energy Blast looks incredible now. But Raging Blast 2 brought with it a lot of issues and basically was the death of that set of games due to a certain musician. But it kind of just got rid of what made the first game like a special experience. Like the cell shading is gone, like the cool like hand-drawn graphics just kind of vanished in favor of these oily and more like strictly 3D models. Characters just didn't feel any different to play. It kind of just felt like they added a bit of a cinematic flair to them, and that's about it. The new characters were good though. I do like the new characters, but honestly, it just wasn't enough. Like the fact there's no story mode and that dialogue is kind of just shoved into like free battle. It shows that this game definitely had more planned, but they just didn't implement it, whether that be due to constraints or budget. It's very strange. And there just isn't that much content either. Like, you beat Battlezone, then what? You go to World Tournament? Please. I guess the online scene is the only thing that's keeping this game alive at the minute, alongside the challenges and stuff, but overall, I'd just say Raging Blast 2 is kind of just a shrug of games. Like, it was fine. It's like, there's not really anything special. It's just, it could be a lot better though. There's definitely a lot missing to it, and that's discounting all the bugs and random glitches that this game has. And overall, just Galaxy mode kind of bringing it down. But yeah, It's whatever. I'm not really a big fan of Raging Blast 2. I love it for being a childhood game, but as I've gotten older and realized it's just, it's whatever. Attack of the Saiyans. I'd say it's fine. I'm not as big on this game as anyone else is, because, you know, I didn't get to play as much. I played it for like an hour, 2 hours, and then I lost, and then I couldn't find it again. So, younger me was quite disappointed that I didn't get to experience it more. But overall, from the time I remember having with this game, it's fine. Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. Now, this might be another hot take, but I think it's good. It does its job well. It basically is heroes that you can play from home. You don't have to pay anything for it, outside, you know, the DLCs that they released at the time. But you don't have to pay to summon on the gacha. You can make your own missions. You can make your own units. The story mode is whatever. Like, who cares? But there's just so much freedom, so much creativity that this game offers. And that's discounting the fact that you have so many races to choose from your custom character that all have their own branches of like god rank and stuff like that. And the base game as well, where you can play through the different arcade campaigns, go online with your teams if you wanted to. Like, there's just so much to do. But I wouldn't put it in P, because there's a lot of flaws that this game has. Like, the graphics are still dated. There's clearly a lot of, you know, recycled assets. There's a lot of things missing. The new graphics are not present. And, you know, it's just, it's a very dated looking game. And the mechanics are very dated as well. So, rest in peace, Dragon Ball Heroes. And hopefully this game can be a good memorative standing for you. Okay, next up, OG Raging Blast. Now this is peak, in my personal opinion. Because number one, you had the banger intro theme. That was completely original, not plagiarized. You had the awesome soundtrack again. You had the really gorgeous graphics. You had a story mode. If it was a bit stiff, it was competent. Some cutscenes were animated completely. The voice acting was on par. Like, there was just so much going on for this game. It is a beacon of classic Dragon Ball. Like, if you want to look at classic Dragon Ball, you go for Raging Blast. If you want to go for Dragon Ball Kai, you go for Raging Blast 2. And that's basically my synopsis on why I love Raging Blast 1 so much. It's just, again, I like nostalgia pounding, but there was What If sagas, there was the normal story mode sagas. We got to see Gogeta versus Vegito canonized for the first time. Like, we got to see what would actually happen. Like, there was just so much going on with this game. A lot of creative choices, and I really do love this game for what it did. It's just a shame the second one wasn't as impressive in my opinion. Burst Limits. Now this, I share the same sentiment with this game as I do Raging Blast 1. Banger intro theme. Banger OST, which most of it was unfortunately plagiarized. Beautiful graphics in my opinion. The cinematic stuff, although it gets annoying when you're late into the game, it is really cool to see. I still say that the best game rendition of Goku turning Super Saiyan was this game, because Sean gave it his absolute fucking all for no reason. Combined with the really pretty graphics of this game that have aged wonderfully, I say Burst Limit is just a really, really good example of an OG Dragon Ball game. Very, very good game. It's a shame that it ends at the Cell Saga. However, I kind of find that poetic considering that's where it was meant to end. Though it is very clear they were planning on more, since the secret ending, as many people like to say, is Goku turning Super Saiyan 2 against Broly. And this game also had Super Saiyan Scout of Vegeta. I completely forgot about that. So yeah, there's another reason to like it as well. Dokkan Battle. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, if you want an idea of how old of a player I am of this game, I was playing back when LRSTR Broly was brand new, and back when Super AGL was like the pinnacle team that you had to run, and back when they gave out that one AGL Spirit Bomb Super Saiyan Goku as a login bonus thing. Like, I have an account that is that old. So, as the years have gone on, I'm honestly just gonna say it's fine. In fact, no, I'll go air. No, I'll say fine. No, fine. It's a harmless PvE game. Again, gacha elements kind of suck, but it's nowhere near offensive. The animations are usually quite good. The roster is quite expensive. It's a little bit overwhelming for a beginner since there is a lot of content in the game now, like years and years worth of content. But if you could put all that aside, I think it's personally just a really decent Dragon Ball game. Nothing special, nothing terrible, just solid in the middle, overall decent performance, decent experience. You get the idea. Dragon Ball Legends, dog shit. Like, unapologetically dog shit. And the reason for this is just, I can make an entire video on this. There are so many manipulative and exploitative tactics that the developers of this game use to try and get you to spend money is actually appalling. Like, Dokkan has this issue as well, but nowhere near to the extent that Legends does. You see, let me tell you what it is, right? Legends has a system where you can spend money to get currency to summon on a gacha, much like Dokkan. However, in Dokkan, you get a SSR pretty much guaranteed on every summon. Something usable at the very least. Originally, Dokkan did not have this. You would either get an SR or an R or nothing at all. Right? Legends does not guarantee you shit unless you summon on a banner that does. Now, my main issue with this is that once every LF or Ultra releases, you have to have that unit, otherwise you will not be able to play the game. And I'd say this basically started the moment that Ultra Goku Black released. If you did not have him, your team would get steamrolled. You would not be able to enjoy the game. You would be forced to deal with the many toxic traits that Goku Black was dealing to you, such as paralysis, the constant ults, the really powerful and frankly overpowered at the time strike cards that he dealt out. It was just a nightmare. And then Ultra Gogeta Blue came out and it was just another matter of you can't use blast cards. So he just wins. If you use a blast card, you get countered with a blue card. Like, again, I could go on and on and on about how Dragon Ball Legends just has a really, really terrible balancing system and a really, really exploitative system. For example, like, if you lose 2 PvP matches in a row, the game will practically dig and dig for a player who either just begun the game, doesn't have an optimal setup, or straight up just summon a bot. Like, I'm going to put it on the screen right now. This was an actual player that the game gave to me. A real player, mind you. There wasn't a bot. They were moved about just as a normal player would. They were doing side steps and everything. This was a real player. And the game figured, oh, well, this is balanced enough. But yeah, I think Legends is just too pay to win friendly. And being a free-to-play player on Legends is just not good at all. It's a real struggle. Like, I have spent money on this game before, and the fact is, I spent money on trying to get Orange Piccolo, like LF Orange Piccolo, and he's just completely washed within a few months. Because guess what? You don't have the new unit, you don't get to have fun. You can't run a fun team because the meta units will always reign supreme. But yeah, that's where the end of my rant over. Legends is dog shit. The graphics look whatever, it looks fine. The animations can look really nice as well. The soundtrack is dog shit. I like Charlotte, but overall it's just dog shit, honestly. I just do not like Legends at all. Dragon Ball Z Connect. I actually played this game. I wouldn't say it's better than Legends, would I? Yes, I would actually. Because Dragon Ball Z Connect, although it was barely playable, it was something really funny about being at Goku's perspective, seeing his fist flail around wildly. But overall, it was just Ultimate Tenkaichi, but, you know, for the Connect. And the trailer for this game is so funny. Like, genuinely, some of the funniest marketing ever seen. Infinite World. I would say it's on par with Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Would I say it's peak though? Yeah, why not? Why not? I think it's peak as well. It's basically just Budokai 3, but with a bit extra added onto it. I wouldn't say it's anything different though. I'd say it's just a bit of an expansion, but I wouldn't go as far as to say, oh, it's quite good. Still though, I do like the new inclusions they put into the game, and yeah, I'd say, I don't know. It's basically just Budokai 3, but with a few changes here and there. Oh boy, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1. I have such a soft spot for this game, because this game rekindled my hope in Dragon Ball games. I'm not even kidding. Like, I played this game and I was taken aback at how fun and how insane it was. Like, mind you, this was before Xenoverse 2, we basically kind of just got exposed to it already, and the magic was gone. I'll get to that in a minute. But Xenoverse 1, letting you make a completely custom character with a custom voice moveset that you could learn. You can get Super Saiyan from a parallel quest, which took fucking forever, by the way. Do you know how many tries that took back in the day? Too many. Anyway. It was just really, really, really nostalgic for me, personally. It just reminded me of how good the old games were, like Rage Blast and stuff. So, you know what? I'm going to do this game a favour and put it in peak. I think Xenoverse 1 was just a really, really good game. I never played the DLCs because I just think the base game was good enough on its own. The DLCs were nice though, and there was clearly a lot of effort put into them. And I think this game just had a really good lifespan. It ended on a good note. I don't see anyone complain about this game other than, you know, the fact that this game was trying to be ported onto previous generations, but it just clearly could not run the best on there. But overall, I'd say, you know, Xenoverse 1 is just good. It set a good standard for what to expect in future Dragon Ball games. Would I say it's the best though? I'd say it's peak. I'd say it's on the level of classic games. I'd say it's good enough to stand its own 2 feet. And now, Xenoverse 2. Here's an interesting one. I've been playing... funny story about this, right? I originally bought Overwatch, and I traded Overwatch in at my local Kex for this game, because I didn't know that the first Xenoverse got a sequel. So I've been playing for a while. Like, what? I think end of 2016, start of 2017. Like, I played this game for a while, so I'm what you could call an OG, quote. But I don't know if I feel so strongly about this game. Like, I don't know. I want to say it's peak because it just improves everything that the first game set out. But part of me thinks that this game's just lazier than the first. Like, they kind of just recycled the story from the first game, but made it worse, honestly. Like, the base story. And then there's the fact there's like hundreds of DLC stories basically cramming into the game, trying to improve it when, honestly, in my opinion, it's just too little too late. So I'm just going to put it in good. I don't really think this game I don't feel as strongly for this game as I do for Xenoverse 1. Although it's an improvement on basically everything the first game set, I can't. I just don't think it's I don't think it's on the same level, in my opinion. You feel free to disagree with me, I know you will. But I just can't, me personally, I just can't see Xenoverse 2 being on the same level as the first. It's just not. It's not a game I'm comfortable with putting next to the first game. And Dragon Ball FighterZ. I've played this game. I didn't really have fun with it. I'd say it's honestly. It looks beautiful, by the way. Arxis make this game look sick, like absolutely gorgeous. The roster's okay, I guess. But I don't know. Again, this is like Xenoverse 2. I don't feel as strongly for this game. I know it's pretty good. I know it's solid. But me personally, I'm just like, whatever. I don't really care for it that much. But don't get this twisted. This is not a bad game. This is a solid game, right? It's a fighting game. And it looks absolutely stunning. So, yeah. But in my personal opinion, I'm just like, whatever, I don't really care for fighters. Last but not least, Ultimate Tenkaichi. I made a whole video basically detailing why, if this game is even good or not. And if you want my personal opinion, I'd say it's fine. I would say this game is fine. Although the gameplay is incredibly linear and just outright boring and repetitive, I wouldn't go as far as to call it bad. It's stale, it's boring, but the overall product, you wouldn't be wasting your time on this game. Because, number one, the game looks gorgeous, by the way. It's aged beautifully. The hero mode is quite fun. The story mode has a lot of interesting moments, and they completely reanimate new cutscenes. And also, this is the game that basically debuted Chris Ayres as the new Frieza. Yeah, well, in terms of retelling the story. And I think it was really, really good, because he performed his ass off during this. But yeah, a lot of bugs and stuff hold this game back as well. But overall, I'd say this is fine. It's not anything incriminating. It's just, you know, it's fine. I wouldn't go as far as to call it good or bad. It's fine. So yeah, that's the little tier list I did for the games I have played. Anything else I either haven't played or I don't know enough about to form a constructive opinion. So yeah, let me know what you think of this little tier list I did. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.